My name's Blair Bloomston. I'm Vice President of Game on Nation, and I'm really excited to be a part of the second annual Enterprise Gamification Forum. I attended the conference last year, and this year I'm delighted to present an interactive session. Game on Nation is an expert company on communication, leadership, and self confidence training, and we use a proprietary curriculum that's completely rooted in game dynamics and gets people on their feet to get lasting results. So since I attended the conference last year, I mean, first of all, I have to say I was so blown away with the caliber of companies that were represented, and just to see gamification really catching fire in the corporate world. It is the new way to operate. We have to get past the bad PowerPoints and the dittos that are handed out. People just aren't engaged in that way of learning in today's digital society. For us to come in with a gamified approach, our clients report that it's really sticky. Two things happen. People, first of all, care more about the training because they're engaged and they're laughing and they're having fun. But the second thing is that they remember the company's objectives. They remember the new mission of the company, and then they start to apply it on a daily basis. So that's where I see gamification heading, actually. I feel like all of us who are attending EGF this year are still at the cutting edge of what's happening in gaming. And I think 10 years from now, the whole industry is going to be blown wide open. Really valuable about gaming in the kind of an enterprise structure and a corporate structure is, as we discussed, Jim, it's about the small sort of intangibles and making them tangible. It's about attitude, it's about personality, it's about intuition, right? And imagination. These are all super important skills to business growth and development, and even just morale on a day-to-day basis. So the game does two things. First of all, it trains them, it builds these muscles, and then more importantly, it measures them so that the company can track progress. The companies who understand gamification and the use of gaming to train staff really get the word innovation. It's not just a buzzword, it's actually a muscle that can be built and developed. And what's so cool is in the game environment, whether that's digital or live like Game On does, people get out of their comfort zone, but still in a very positive way. They start to grow and develop professionally. And all of that new muscle that's built leads back into daily achievements. So maybe they're speaking up more and sharing ideas more freely because they feel bonded with the team. There's trust. Maybe they are coming up with ideas actually outside of the workplace and they feel confident to share that idea will be heard. Innovation, communication, those are the things that we find really organically come out of game-based training. And the companies who are succeeding in this day and age must have it. Many of the companies that are well known in the gaming industry use a digital format to motivate their audience. Game On takes a different approach. We are solely interactive. So we're creating live experiences for some of the world's top professional athletes and teams, as well as large Fortune 500 companies. We love the interactive approach because you bring back that human element and the thrill of games, almost like when we played hide and seek when we were little kids. You could play that game for hours on end. So through this curriculum and through game dynamics and really through human interaction, we use games in a way that creates tangible results for the organization, whether that's creating a better culture, helping them increase sales. It all has to affect the bottom line. The number one way that Game On's curriculum helps businesses is through creating a common language and really giving them tools, giving the staff tools that they can use on a daily basis to interact with one another. So communication is our overall header. And that works for us whether we're working with the Cleveland Cavaliers or the sales division from Acura. Once people have a language that's rooted in games and the fun of games and kind of lighting them up, they can now do a better job of sharing peer-to-peer feedback. And that affects them if their goal is to be a better salesperson, provide better customer service, or, shoot free throws. It all works on the same level. Because Game On Nation uses a live game interface, because we're creating experiences right there in the workplace, we don't have the benefit of some of our digital gaming counterparts where data is literally being tracked by an algorithm. That said, we have a very specific formula that we call MILE to track the interaction between staff. MILE stands for mystery, incentive, laughter, and empowerment. These four game dynamics very specifically relate to person interaction and how people feel and their attitude. So we are using lots of metrics. Our clients expect it. That ranges anywhere from survey data to self-analysis that's then shared with kind of the manager or director. And one of the most effective tools for us with our team of 6 consultants is actually the consultant feedback to the staff in the organization. We're able to, not only deliver the game, but actually assess the staff as they're playing the game and then report back on their strengths and where they need to move forward. So, looking into the future, I think there are many applications for gaming, but one that I'm particularly interested in is helping companies make better hiring decisions and actually gamifying the job interview process. What's cool about games, especially live games, is that there's no way to prepare, right? So really authentic behavior begins to come out in a safe way in this interview format if the HR manager can gamify it. So they're going to see if the person reacts to change in kind of an abrupt way or if they really embrace change. They're going to see if they take feedback from leaders kind of defensively or if they embrace that feedback. Companies spend so much money trying to decide who to hire. And if it turns out that person is not a fit for the culture, that's a loss of investment. So if they can use gaming as sort of a predictive analytic to get in early from the onset of the person, I think 2 things will happen. First of all, they're just going to make better hiring decisions. And then second of all, once that person enters the culture, they're set up to grow the culture instead of just kind of being complacent and going along with the flow. They're really going to be an agent for change. I think that, one of the most valuable parts of being a part of Enterprise Gamification Forum to me, too, is to see best practices across the industry and what's working and honestly, what's not working. We're scientists, we're cooks in the kitchen building these processes. For us, we have found that you have to relate it back to the human element. The reward dynamic of badges, sometimes the time dynamic of water your crops at this hour don't always last. They don't always stick. But we have been excited to see whenever you're creating a shared experience, whenever you're creating kind of those trust and those memories together, then gaming continues even after the game itself is over.